Tossing back to Ashmit, who has another interesting guest with him.
Varya, thank you so much for that. Again, we're continuing this conversation. With me now is Captain Kulkarni. And I just learned seconds back that she's flying with Indigo right now. But before that, she was flying Antonov aircrafts with the Indian Air Force. So this story is quite inspiring. Let me first begin with that, the Air Force leg of the journey. This is a barrier that we've seen many women break more recently. Do you see that change? More women coming forward, wanting to participate, wanting to be pilots?
Yes. So see, I'll tell you something. When I joined back, it was probably 20, 23 years, 25 years back when I joined Indian Air Force. So that was something which was my dream as a child. And literally it was a child which I pursued. I did not take the normal conventional fields of medicine and engineering, but I went into aviation because that is what I wanted to do. And I wanted to do to start with only in uniform. Basically serve our nation in that uniform. What I wanted, I achieved it. While I was in the final year of my graduation, I appeared for my SSB, got through it. I was the first women pilot from Vidarbha to get selected. And yes, to become pilot from that area I was the first one. So then thereafter my journey started, wonderful journey, what I wanted. Aviation was all that I had thought of and all that I had got. So of course the inspiration, if I would say inspiration was any and every person who was in uniform. I literally, as a crazy person, as a crazy child, as a crazy student, used to walk up to them and ask them, how do you clear the SSBs? I was very young in the school. I used to keep asking them questions, keep taking my gen from every possible books that were available, every knowledge that was available. And that's how I took. So by the time I was there in my graduation, I was fully prepared to appear for my interviews and I got through it.
Let me then ask you about one word of advice that perhaps keeps you motivated, keeps you driven. We've been speaking to many achievers and they tell us that there's this one key person or this one key moment which gave them a great deal of inspiration and confidence in terms of moving forward. What's that moment for you? What's that piece of advice for you?
Inspiration as self, I would say I think I'm self-motivated, honestly speaking. For the only reason is, I think, to serve the nation, I think all of us are doing that through some way or the other. But wearing that uniform and still serving the country, getting to do the aviation, then again they say that aviation is one of those hobbies where you get to pursue your hobby as your own career throughout your life. This is what has happened. And that is how I have gone about it. So inspiration, I would say I can draw inspiration from everyone. I can draw inspiration even from you. Every and any person around me, I can just take whatever is the best in you. And I'm so motivated with that. I'll keep improving on myself, keep working on myself and then keep going ahead.
What would you tell a younger version of yourself, or rather younger women who are aspiring to be somebody like a Captain Kulkarni? What would you tell them? What would your advice be?
So yes, so I'll tell you, I left Air Force after 10 years of service. So 1.5 years of the training which was there. So total about 12 years of Indian Air Force that I was in. And in that, at that time, there was no permanent commission. Just see to it how beautifully our Indian Air Force has progressed now. There's a permanent commission. I wanted to join the fighter stream at that time. Women are there in flying fighter aircrafts. All the courses which were not available to women at that time, they're all there. And just see beautifully, I'm able to pursue that. Even now, there are these lovely companies, like right now I'm part of Indigo and I'm so proud. And it was such a conscious decision of mine after I finished off with my Air Force, after I finished with my 5 years of general aviation to only join Indigo. The reason was absolutely the same. Indigo follows the same thing by the book, SOPs. It's such an organized company that I did not feel much of a difference whether I was under a government service serving the nation. Here I'm serving all of you. Now you are all my guests. My reach with all of you is so much more closer. I get to meet all of you. I get to greet all of you. I get to see the happy faces. I get to see the happy, contented faces.
And I think with a market share of over 60%, you get to have that interface a lot more.
Yes.
Captain Kulkarni, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure having this conversation. Before I let you go, one key question. Have you seen the movie Fighter? Is the Air Force life that glamorous?
No. Unfortunately, I haven't seen the movie Fighter. But what I get to hear from few pieces are nice, correct. But few will definitely be glamorized because it's something which I think the normal public also has to, it has to be gullible to a normal people. So if you go very strict way, the way Forges, I think it's going to be very difficult for others to like it. You got to see the Hrithik Roshan with his abs, right?
Captain Kulkarni, we'll continue this conversation